Hi friends, I'm excited to bring you another video after such a long time. First of all, I'd like to say Happy Diwali to those who are celebrating. It's definitely the whole everywhere is glowing with the decorations of Diwali and all of the fireworks and all of that. So today I'll be talking about sleep diary. Why do we need to talk about something like sleep diary? It's because insomnia is a very common problem and it's ubiquitous wherever you go. There's almost always someone who has this problem, and in the clinics, I'm always seeing people complaining about their sleep. So, and my own philosophy, which I believe is should also be the philosophy of many other physicians, if not all, is that if you don't fully understand what the patient is complaining about, then that is setting, the stage for misdiagnosis and then wrong treatment. So, in other words, if you're going to be preferring the right treatment or proffering the right treatment to patients, then it starts with you understanding what a patient is complaining about. So, I usually like to have a full grasp of the problem. And sleep diary offers that opportunity for me to fully comprehend what a patient is talking about. So, and that's why I will be dedicating this video to understanding what a sleep diary looks like and how to complete a sleep diary to make it understandable to the interpreting physician, and all of the items in the sleep diary systematically, and how we analyze it, and then the information we get. So at the end of this video, hopefully you would know how to complete your sleep diary the next time you get one given to you by your physician, which could also be myself. And then and then what we do with it and how to complete properly. Again, the whole essence of it is you can fall back to this video and advise how to complete it. And then again, the very importance of this video, it can never be overemphasized, and that's the fact that we can treat you amiss if we don't fully understand what your complaints are or what exactly you're experiencing at your bedtime. So do enjoy the video and leave your comments behind. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. So I'll see you in the video. So let's dive into it. So like I said at the beginning, that the focus of today's video is discussing how to make entries into the sleep diary. The sleep diary is a very essential tool we use in the clinic when we assess people who've got insomnia of different types. So it gives an objective documentation of what exactly the individual's patient's sleep looks like. So I know in the clinic you would have described what you think is going on with you, perhaps whether you're having primarily difficulty falling asleep, or you're pretty much waking up in the middle of the night and unable to fall back asleep, or you're waking up too early than the time you would desire to wake up, or it's a mixture of all of the above. Well, the sleep diary actually gives a very objective documentation, and then the doctors or the physician can actually see what your sleep looks like and then be able to calculate essential elements from there. So before I bore you with the theories, I'll just show you this particular sleep diary, which a patient of mine carefully did, which I love. I would say this is probably one of the best documentation of a sleep diary that I have seen from my patients in recent times, and that's why I've taken her permission to use this particular one. So you would see this patient actually complained of poor sleep, and I gave them the sleep diary to feel And so look at the essential items here. So the first question here on this page is what time. It says, just flip it around a little bit so I can, yeah, read the content better. So it says, what time did you get into bed? That's question number one. So everyone knows what time they went to bed last night. And I must say that you don't have to actually stay up trying to fill this diary. So you feel for each day the next day, basically. So if you're feeling concerning, if feeling the diary concerning a given night, then you would feel it the following day when you have time, be it in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. So it's not a time when you're trying to sleep that you'll be recording the details. So it's going to be a retrospective look at what the previous night looked like. So this patient of mine went to bed or got into bed at about 10:15 p.m. And then the next question is, what time did you try to go to sleep? So sometimes people, confuse these two questions, and or they get confused by these two questions, but they're not exactly the same. So it makes a distinction between the time you went to bed and the time you actually decided to sleep, because it makes room for the fact that some people go to bed and yet they haven't finished all their businesses for the day. They still want to do one or two things before they eventually retire to sleep. So maybe you decided to look on your phone, or you decided to read stuff, or you decided to chat with friends, or do whatever else, or pray, or whatever is important to you, or meditate. And then you finally decided to sleep. So this individual decided to sleep at 10:15. So it means the time they went to bed was exactly the time they decided to sleep. And this is important because we're going to be calculating what we call sleep onset latency based on this. And that's why it's important to separate the two, because we may be, erroneously increasing your sleep latency if we assume that the time you went to bed was exactly the time you decided to sleep. So we start counting from the time you decided to sleep. And then how long did it take you to fall asleep? So again, we don't want you looking at your clock to see, or your watch to see the exact amount of time it took you to sleep. So it's a retrospective estimate of how long you thought it took you to fall asleep last night. So this person thought it took them 2.5 hours to fall asleep. So you can see this person has a very, very long sleep onset latency. And then the next question is, how many times did you wake up? Okay, not counting the final awakening. So of course we all wake up eventually, otherwise we would be dead. So you count the final awakening. So you now look at how many times did you wake up in the middle of the night. So this person woke up 3 times. I'm looking at 1st August right now, the entry for 1st August. Sorry, I didn't mention that at the beginning. And then the next question says, in total, how long did these awakenings last? So again, that's another point that confuses people sometimes. So the question now is not how long was each awakening. So if you woke up 3 times, as this person did, the totality of the 3 times gave them 30 minutes of awakening in the middle of the night. So perhaps the first one took them 10 minutes, the second one maybe 5 minutes, and then the third maybe another 15 minutes. So in total, again, these are estimates. You don't have to be exact. You don't have to be watching your clock or time or watch to tell us. And then the next question says, what time was your final awakening? So what time did you wake up finally? This person woke up finally at 4:40 a.m. And then the next question is, what time did you get out of bed for the day? So this makes provision for the fact that we know that some people do not exactly get out of bed when they wake up. They still stay in bed doing other stuff. And then it says, how would you rate the quality of your sleep? So then here you've got about 5 options, and it was very poor, or fair, or good, or very good. So this person said it was fair. And then you have a provision to make any other comments. Like if we go to the entry of 5th August, this person said, I think something like I snoozed my alarm. So you can make any comment that relates to your sleep. Sometimes some of my patients will say I was sick or I used sleep aid. This person said on 6th of August, said I woke up feeling tired. So you can put any other comment. So this is how to feel it. And you would see there's a provision for each day. So another point of confusion is the dating of a diary. So you put the date of the night you were assessing. So you, of course, this person probably filled this data, this column on 2nd of August and was assessing the night of 1st of August. So the next day you fill this, and 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th. And so each page allows you to log in your sleep for a week. And usually I like to see a minimum of 2 weeks of sleep diary to be able to make an objective assessment of what this individual's sleep looks like. And then next question I get is, or perhaps before I go there, let me still talk a little bit more about the sleep diary. So what I eventually look at is at the end to look at essential parameters based on all of this. I calculate for each week what did the sleep onset latency look like. Sleep onset latency talks about how long it takes for people to fall asleep on average. And then I look at what we call WASO, which is WASO, that's wakefulness after sleep onset. How long do people wake up for in the middle of the night? And then I also look at total time in bed, and I look at how much of this total time in bed that people felt spent sleeping, and that is what we call the total sleep time. And then besides total sleep time, and I'll look at what's called the sleep efficiency, which is the ratio of the time spent in bed that's actually spent sleeping, and I look at that in percentage. So when I look at all of those parameters, I'm able to, have a very fair understanding of where this person belongs in terms of their sleep, and then we can now make, tailored recommendation as to how to improve their sleep. It's already becoming a long video, so perhaps I'm going to stop here, and then the other things I have to say about sleep diary and sleep documentation and objectifying sleep parameters, I'm going to be doing that in a separate video. I do hope you learned something today, and I do hope it will help you in documenting your sleep next time your physician wants you to have something objective documented about your sleep. So I thank you so much for watching today, and I do hope I'll see you in my next video.